joining us from Zambales live, it's Gretchen Ho.
Yeah.
She's there in Zambales to
Ayan.
join the atin ito regatta to Bajo de
Yes.
Masinloc. So, I think we should start with Gretchen. Gretchen,
Yes.
kasi sayang yung live signal mo.
Oo nga.
Tell us where you are right now. Are you anywhere near the port?
Magandang hapon sa inyo, Patrick, Ed, Ami.
Hi.
Nandito tayo ngayon sa isang tuluyan kung saan magsistay yung buong civilian convoy bago maglayag bukas papunta sa Bajo de Masinloc. So now what's happening is that the press con is done and that they're raffling off the names that will ride the 5 large boats where the media will be in, accompanied by 100 small fishing vessels. So 5 lang yan, around 200 people will be joining the civilian convoy. At yun nga, kanina sinasabi ko, kahit may konting kaba over what's going to happen because of reports of Chinese sending its largest blockade ever to meet this civilian convoy, medyo kalmado naman ang atmosphere dito because of the contingency planning also of the Atin Ito coalition. If you remember, back in the civilian convoy in December, parang nataranta yung kapitan nung nagsashadow na yung Chinese vessels. But this time, the Atin Ito coalition says they are much more prepared. They have responses for everything that may happen out sea, and that safety is their utmost priority. Hindi naman daw nila ilalagay sa pahamak
Gretchen.
yung mga sibilyan na kasama natin dito. Although, they know that Chinese vessels are on their way. 4 Chinese Coast Guard vessels, 26 maritime militia vessels to be exact. They remain undeterred and that they will press forward with the peaceful voyage. And last night, may lumabas na report, actually hindi report, may lumabas na social media video saying that this is going to be a staging of a play by Philippine media and a Philippine NGO. As to the response to that of Atin Ito coalition, sabi ni Rafaela David, that is not just absurd but also desperate. These are attempts to malign legitimate activities of ordinary citizens in our own EEZ. What they're saying is as fictitious as their 9-dash line. Katulad nung kung gaano ka strong no statement na yon, ganoon din ang willpower ng mga tao dito na tumuloy sa kanilang biyahe kahit na medyo kabado dahil we are riding smaller fishing vessels this time around.
Gretchen, can you hear us? Are you free to discuss with us kung ano ang balak gawin ng civilian convoy for every possible step taken by the Chinese Coast Guard? For example, kung harangan, kung magpaandar ng water cannon, and so on down the line. Are you free to discuss the responses being planned by Atin Ito?
I think because they discussed it with me, I think it should be okay. But they have been keeping this under wraps. Ngayon ko lang nalaman kasi over the past days, they've been hiding what they're going to do kasi nga out of safety reasons. But wala naman ng balak na pumunta doon sa 12 nautical mile red line nung Bajo de Masinloc where things get a little bit more dangerous. Water cannoning, ramming incidents, total destruction. Yun ang scenario setting of the Philippine Coast Guard that was given to them. Wala naman daw silang balak pumunta doon sa 12 nautical miles na yon. Between 12 to 20 nautical miles, this is where aggressive and dangerous maneuvers usually happen. And between 30 to 40 nautical miles away from Bajo, that is where the shadowing and radio challenges happen. Yun nga lang ang expectation nila dito. Baka mas maaga mangyari yung aggressive and dangerous maneuvers dahil in the latest report this morning from Ray Powell of Sea Light, mukhang flanking left, right, middle side yung Chinese vessels. So they are also preparing for a lot of blocking maneuvers by the Chinese vessels. As to what is going to happen and what the response will be, pag shadowing daw, dire-diretso lamang. Dire-diretso lamang yung civilian convoy. Hindi katulad nung una natin, December Bok, umikot kagad yung kapitan. Pero ito ang instruction, pag nag-shadow ang Chinese vessels, dire-diretso lang. Pag ni-radio challenge na, sasagutin ng isang tao lang, and that will be Rafaela David, the commander of the civilian convoy. And when the third step will be evasion. Pag nandiyan na yung blocking maneuvers, they will wait for the cue of the Philippine Coast Guard when to turn back. So,
Okay.
sabi nila, ang goal lang naman is the 30 to 40 nautical mile away from Bajo de Masinloc. And reaching that area will not be the main objective of this convoy. Dahil sa kanila, if they are able to do the regatta, that's number one, able to place the symbolic markers such as the buoys and distribute food and supplies, that will be already considered a successful mission.
Okay, it's quite clear. Gretchen, how
Gretchen, I
large is the
understand
media
the-
contingent that will be joining the regatta?
Again, sir?
How large is the media contingent that will be joining the regatta? Do we have members of the foreign media also joining?
Ang sinasabi sa atin, there will be 50 members of the media joining this convoy, about 50 volunteers to add to that, so 100. But the crew, the fishing crew, will amount to about 10 to 20 per boat. So that will be 100. So 100 plus 100, the 200.
Okay.
And there will be international observers. So there is a Swedish, the Swedish guy, Japanese, Indonesian, and Sri Lankan. Yung Swedish at saka Indonesian, they are members of social movements back home. They say that they will observe what's going to happen. They will take a look at it themselves so they can file accurate reports from their own points of view and not from the Philippine contingent. Kasi nga yun sabi nila, ito yung bago na aspeto ng civilian convoy. Let's invite international observers in and have them see and assess what really goes on out there.
Actually, maganda rin
Gretchen,
kung may
mukhang
Chinese
may senaryo
contingent.
na
Direk.
inaasahan ng China na merong mga Pilipino na will end up in the sea. Meron ba kayong dalang mga life vest? Ano yung mga protective equipment na kasama ng buong contingent, yung media and the regatta itself?
Nako, Ami, yun nga yung una kong tinanong pagpunta ko dito, meron ba kayong life vest na
Yes.
ibibigay sa lahat ng sasama? At sabi naman, 1:1. Kanina we saw them unpacking already. There were numbers on the life vest. So I guess one life vest will be assigned to one person. But definitely, apart from the life vest, I don't know what other safety measures that they have placed in case meron ngang pero there are there are 5 doctors with this mission. 1 doctor each boat will join, and they're also prepared for whatever is going to happen pag kami nasugatan, pag kami nalunod, even seasickness. They're already looking out for that. So mukhang yun ang nakikita kong safety measures dito. It's the life vest and the doctors who are joining the mission.
Okay, Gretchen, well, the Global Times, Chinese Daily, and also the China Daily, is accusing atin ito of being funded by the United States. I understand you're there with Rafaela David. Do they have a reaction to this accusation?
To be honest with you, I was outside the press con, but I'll get back on that. They did say that the accusations were absurd, but were not just absurd, but also desperate in attempts to malign the legitimate activities of ordinary citizens. They're saying that what they're aiming for here is a peaceful solidarity regatta. So I have to get back with you on those accusations that this is U.S. Government funded and Philippine government funded, but they have been saying all throughout this is a civilian-led mission. Kung sa totoo nga lang ayaw ng gobyerno na gawin nila ito because kumbaga magkakagulo pa o malalagay yung buhay ng mga tao sa alanganin. But they have been consistent in saying that this is 100% civilian-led. It's a civilian movement, and the aim is to civilianize the area and to demilitarize Bajo de Masinloc.
Well, the other allegation, of course, by China is that this is a deliberate provocation. It is an unnecessary provocation daw by the Philippine side to try to get China to look like the bad guy. Among the allegations, of course, nasabi ng China is that, I saw some of the earlier videos, hindi raw talaga fishermen yung ibang nagfifish, pinapupunta dyan para supposedly magkunwaring fishermen. Number 2, hindi naman daw kailangan talaga magpunta dyan para mag-distribute ng supplies. These among other allegations by China.
Well, there are questions also from the Atin Ito coalition as to why we can't sail in our own EEZ. If you think about it, sabi nga nila, kung pupunta tayo doon, nga ba natin kailangan magpaalam pa? If you're going to Boracay, if you're going on a vacation somewhere, why aren't you free to do that? And that is what exactly they're standing for in this civilian convoy, the right to navigate through our waters, the freedom to sail through our seas, and also to defend the rights of our fishermen. What they have been saying is, alam naman natin may dispute doon sa Bajo de Masinloc. Oo, may dispute doon, pero wag naman sana gumamit ng dahas para itaboy ang ating mga mangingisda. Because as we know that in the 2016 arbitral ruling, we have been granted fishing rights in Bajo de Masinloc. This is considered a traditional fishing ground, apart from the area around it being part of our EEZ.
Okay.
Gretchen, what's the general mood, if you can sense it, among the Atinito members? Is it more of apprehension or are they gung-ho? Ano
Actually,
yung sense mo sa kanila at this point?
Ngayon, parang nararamdaman ko medyo mas prepared na yung mga tao kumpara nung unang civilian convoy back in December, because nung
Yes.
time na yun parang excited na excited, and then bigla nila ganun ang emosyon, bigla na lang bumaba nung bumalik. This time it's much more tempered. The emotions are much more tempered. People are excited, but people are also ready for what's going to happen. Na sinasabi ng iba, nako, tingin ko mas ma-action ito kasi nga mas maraming Chinese vessels ang darating. Iba yung sitwasyon sa Bajo de Masinloc bilang kumbaga parang doon pa lang sa vicinity ng Bajo de Masinloc eh. Kapag lumapit ka na doon, ang dami na nakaharang at yun nga kumbaga parang mas close encounter. Mas malaki yung chance kasi doon sa Ayungin, malayo pa lang, shadowing pa lang, parang nataranta na lahat, hindi na alam ang gagawin. Parang first time makakita ng Chinese Coast Guard. This time around, we see volunteers coming back, familiar faces. Father Robert Reyes is here. We see from Akbayan, of course, different indigenous peoples represented. They are back here also. Pero nadagdagan pa yung contingent and of representatives from different civil society groups.
Ako, Pablo Lambok, if I got you right, the main target is to get at least 2/3 of the way to Bajo de Masinloc, not to get all the way there. 2/3 of the way meaning
Yes.
40 nautical miles from Bajo de Masinloc, kasi that's 120 nautical miles from Zambales to Bajo eh. So, yan lang talaga ang pinaka-maximum na gusto nilang gawin. Hindi sila sana
Yan ang sabi sa atin.
walang balak
Yan ang
magpilit.
sabi sa atin, Bok. Oo.
To get
So,
all the way there.
ang mangyayari bukas ay pupunta sa 20 nautical miles zone away from Masinloc. That is already part of our EEZ.
Yeah. Lagpasan ng
Doon maglalagay ng boya with the Atinito. They have lunch with the fishermen. They're going to distribute fuel and food supplies to the fishermen there. And then after that, a long journey is expected because you're going to have to travel about 90 nautical miles, 80 to 90 nautical miles to get to the vicinity of Bajo de Masinloc. That will take overnight. Yun nga lang yung medyo delikado, Bok, kasi gabi mangyayari yung biyahe na yun. And as we know, there are vessels that are in the dark or cannot be identified on the AIS system. And that is actually what's dangerous. Our friend Goyo Larazabal also pointed out that they almost hit a maritime militia vessel. Sinasabi nila, bantayan ninyo itong maritime militia vessel dahil sila yung mas delikado, because if they hit your fishing boat, they will have, I guess, yung liability nila is in the gray zone because they are not part of the Chinese Coast Guard. They are supposed to be private fishing vessels. So yun daw yung kailangan bantayan. At yun din, ang pinangangambahan dito, yung biyahe na yun na malayo. Bukod sa expected na dadating doon sa Bajo de Masinloc area, around 6 a.m. on Thursday.
Okay. Gretchen, I saw your
Gretchen, where
interview
you are
last
now,
night
may
with...
nakikita ka na bang Philippine Navy presence? Kasi may announcement ngayon na magpapadala daw ng kahit isa lang yata na parang magbabantay lang. Hindi naman exactly escort, pero magbabantay na one Navy vessel.
Okay, at kung nasaan po ako ngayon, medyo nasa nasa gubat tayo, wala pa tayo sa sea. Hindi pa tayo nakakapunta ron kasi medyo busy ang media rito. Pero tatanungin natin yan. Ang nababalitaan ko lang ay yung sigurado ay yung 44-meter vessel, yung si BRP Bagakay ng Philippine Coast Guard. They have been requesting for more PCG vessels, kahit isa pa. And then there's another BFAR vessel na tinatry nilang kunin. Pero there are also protocols around that, which vessels you send. The Philippine Navy, we will ask that question later on about reinforcement. But they are quite, they're quite careful about the presence of Philippine Coast Guard and Philippine Navy ships because the Philippine government is stressing that this is civilian-led. This is a civilian mission. And sabi nga ni NSC ADG Jonathan Malaya, kung po pwede payagan ng China, urging China to allow this civilian mission to happen. Because we do know that Bajo de Masinloc has been seized by the Chinese since the 2012 standoff.
Okay. Gretchen, I was watching your interview last night with Goy Larrazabal, and I understand that there are 2 Chinese Coast Guard ships more or less permanently stationed at the mouth of the reef in Bajo de Masinloc, right? So
Correct.
is this the
That's
reason
what,
why...
he said yesterday. And yun nga, parang basta ang kwentuhan dito is sa totoo lang, kung fishermen lang, kilala na nung Chinese Coast Guard, nung mga nagpapatrolya doon, yung mukha ng mga mangingisda. Pag nagkakaroon ng media, doon medyo pinag-iinitan itong mga vessels na lumalapit sa Bajo de Masinloc. So, siguro isa yun sa mga dahilan kaya hindi na magpupumilit na lumapit because they don't want it to reach water cannoning level. They have been saying, hindi naman natin hinahangad yan na ma-water cannon tayo, so hanggang dito lang tayo because what we want is for everybody to be safe. So, hopefully it doesn't get to that because yun nga, para na-identify naman na yung water cannoning happens in the 12 nautical mile vicinity of Bajo de Masinloc.
Yung escort yung BRP Bagakay, yan yung tinamaan ng water cannon recently na UP yung railings.
Correct.
So, yun yung escort niyo kung sakali. Huling tanong, pahabol na lang. Magmula kahapon ba nung in-announce, nagparamdam ang China na na may conspiracy daw, tapos malalaglag yung mga fishermen sa tubig deliberately and all that. May mga nag-atrasan ba sa mga media na magko-cover dyan? May mga nag-U-turn ba?
Naku, Bok, parang medyo marami-rami ang magko-cover na lang mula sa land. I'm hearing about parang 12 to 15 members of the media will be reporting from land. Siyempre tayo ay maglalayag tayo. Pero yun nga, parang magkahalo. Kasi yung iba, first time, nasasakay kasama ng papunta sa West Philippine Sea. So they're quite apprehensive also with the size of the boats. Kanina pinapakita sa atin ng isang colleague natin yung video na parang ito lang yung bangka, ito lang yung CR, parang toilet lang inidoro doon sa Pag yung iba, they do their business doon sa side ng boats in full view of everyone. I guess all those come into play, the rough waters, the small boats, and the proper amount of contingencies. Everybody has their risk level that they could take. So merong mga members of the media who will be reporting from land at sinasabi rin kasi nila baka ang signal ay medyo mahirap out sea. Ang sinasabi naman sa atin ng ating coalition, mas mabagal yung takbo ng mga bangka. So they expect the Starlinks to work. Hopefully, it does.
Actually, ang bangkit ni Goyo kagabi, sa The Big Story is that he was able to bring his Starlink on that banka, on a fishing banka, and they were able to contact, the fishermen were able to contact their families in the middle, somewhere
Correct.
in the vicinity
but they
of
were,
Bajo de
they were
Masinloc.
at a standstill.
Yeah.
They were stationary
Right.
when the Starlink worked. So yun ang medyo mahirap lang, Patrick, kapag yung Starlink nasa dagat at gumagalaw, spotty yan parang kailangan subok hanggang sa mag-connect ka, papasok siya, bigla mawawala. Depende na yan sa speed ng boat. I think nasa you have to be below 8 knots
8.5
for it
knots.
to work. So we will definitely do our best for that to happen out there in the seas. But you're right, yung para sa mga mangingisda, malaking bagay na makapag-connect sila because we found out that marami sa mga asawa ng mga mangingisda ay OFW because nga of yung effects on their fish catch. Their wives have had to go abroad to pursue livelihood there to be able to aid what has been lost here in Zambales.
Okay.
Okay. Bok, ingat kayo bukas at balitaan mo kami kung
Baka matuloy na,
Yes.
Gretch, baka matuloy na yung freedom to broadcast nyo this time around.
The real deal, huh?
ingat
Be
kayo.
careful.
We'll definitely aim
Gretchen.
for that. I hope to talk to you again
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yes. Hope to talk to you. Hope to hear from you.
We hope to hear from you.
And see you. Better yet, see you. Should be exciting. And ingat, Gretch.